Long ago, a king named Hiranyakashipu stood in the mountains and performed a meditation so intense it lasted 100 years. His goal was simple: to force the creator of the universe, Brahma, to make him absolutely immortal. This graphic shows the contract they struck when pure immortality was denied. Hiranyakashipu secured 5 specific conditions for his death. He could not be killed by a man or an animal, not during the day or at night, not inside a residence or outside, not on the ground or in the sky, and finally, by no weapon or projectile. These 5 prohibitions functioned as a perfect defensive net. By defining every known way he could die and then specifically outlawing them, Hiranyakashipu effectively placed his life beyond the reach of the physical world. Armed with a body that appeared beyond destruction, he rapidly conquered all 3 known worlds: Earth, Heaven, and the underworld. He then issued a supreme edict, instantly outlawing the worship of his greatest enemy, Lord Vishnu. A single entity holding indestructible physical power created a cosmic vacuum. External justice ceased to function. With no way to strike back, the displaced gods fled their realms and went into hiding. Right in the middle of this totalitarian, fear-driven regime, the king's wife gave birth to a son named Prahalad. The boy grew up surrounded by absolute physical dominance, yet his mind remained entirely untouched by it. Instead of inheriting his father's thirst for control, Prahalad devoted himself entirely to Lord Vishnu. The conflict was no longer about clashing armies. The universe's most immovable physical force was now standing face to face with a completely unyielding spiritual mind. The collision happened in the royal court. When asked what he had learned in his studies, Prahalad openly refused to acknowledge his father as the supreme truth of the universe, naming Vishnu instead. The tyrant responded with lethal force. He ordered venomous serpents to bite his son, but their fangs shattered against him. He had his royal cooks slip pure poison into the boy's food, yet Prahalad digested it without a single symptom. The methods escalated wildly. Soldiers hurled Prahalad from the top of a palace over 800 miles high. When he survived the fall, he was bound with mystical serpent ropes and thrown into the ocean, where thousands of tons of rock were piled on top of him. The king even leveraged his own family. He forced Prahalad to sit on a blazing pyre in the lap of his aunt, Holika, who possessed her own magical immunity to fire. She burned to ashes while the boy walked out untouched. Coercion, torture, and extreme violence hit a wall. When a target's core values are completely detached from the desire for physical survival, external systems of terror lose their grip entirely. Prahalad survived through a highly specific psychological defense. He offered zero resistance to physical harm, choosing instead to retreat into deep, unbroken meditation. Buried under the immense pressure of the ocean floor, he focused inward with such intensity that he completely forgot he possessed a physical body at all. By finding the divine truth inside himself, he generated a violent shockwave that physically shattered the ocean rocks and broke his bonds. Prahalad's immunity grew from a total detachment to his physical form. By anchoring his consciousness to an internal truth, he stripped the external world of its ability to inflict trauma. The breaking point arrived back in the royal court. A furious Hiranyakashipu demanded to know if Vishnu was truly everywhere, even inside a nearby pillar. To prove a point, he struck the stone structure with his heavy mace. The contract was airtight. Every conventional weapon and every natural life form was forbidden from harming the king by the very creator who brought them into existence. The pillar ruptured from the inside out. Amidst thick smoke and a deafening roar, Lord Narasimha stepped onto the floor of the palace. When a tyrant hopelessly corrupts the physical rules of a system, that system can only be corrected by something operating entirely outside those established rules. This graphic highlights how Narasimha fulfilled the letter of the law while violating its intent. This form, the head of a lion and the body of a man, exists outside the categories of human or animal. He dragged the tyrant to the doorway's threshold, neither inside nor outside, He placed him on his lap, neither on the earth nor in the sky. He waited until twilight, neither day nor night, and using only bare claws, he ended the king without ever touching a weapon. The sheer violence of the act triggered an uncontrollable fury in Narasimha. The terrified gods, realizing they had traded one apocalypse for another, fled to the icy peaks of Mount Kailash to beg Lord Shiva to calm the chaos. Amidst the ruins of a kingdom, Prahalad remained the only constant. His survival demonstrates an invincibility found by securing the mind, even when the physical world is in collapse.